Welcome to the Whiskey Explorer. Thanks so much for tuning in for another episode, guys. And if this is your first time at the channel, if you could please do us a quick favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave us a comment down below, let us know what you think about this format of video, if you want to see more videos like this, and we'll get the conversation going at the Whiskey Explorer. And tonight, guys, as you can see, we've got a lineup of toasted barrel finish bourbons. So I wanted to kind of do this quick comparison between the toasted barrel bourbons that I had in my collection. Now, this is sort of what we can get in our region at the moment. And I am cheating a little bit by putting in Woodford Reserve Double Oaked. So Woodford Reserve Double Oaked goes through its first maturation process in a regular new charred American white oak barrel. And then it has a secondary aging in what they say is a deeply toasted and lightly charred secondary barrel. So it is toasted and then lightly charred, but I figured for this comparison, kind of wanted that fourth bottle in there, and Woodford Reserve Double Oaked is a crowd pleaser, very good bourbon in its own right, so I wanted to kind of put it head to head against these other ones and see how it fares in the comparison. So while I do wish we could get more toasted barrel bourbons here in Canada and BC, in Victoria and my region, this is sort of what I have to work with. So we have the Basil Hayden Toast, which I reviewed on the channel, and I'll put links for all these individual bottles up above there, and you guys can check out those individual reviews if you want. So the Basil Hayden Toast, then we have the Woodford Reserve Double Oaked, then we've got the Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel Finish, and we've got the Michter's US1 Bourbon Toasted Barrel Finish. So we're going to kind of see how these all compare to each other. And at the end, we will crown the winner for the best toasted barrel finish bourbon. All right, so without further ado, let's get into this comparison here. I'm just basically going to start from my right to left, and then I'll kind of give a ranking on these ones here and kind of see where I think they end up. All right, so let's have a look at this first one here. So it'll be a little bit hard to pick up on the camera, but I can already see that it's starting to cling to the glass there. So there seems to be a pretty decent viscosity to this one. As I'm kind of swirling around the glass, I'm getting some legs forming there. So we'll see how this fares. The color is nice and inviting. It actually has a really nice kind of a deep kind of copper tone to it, deep amber. Very nice color on that. Let's go in for a nose. Cheers. Oh wow, okay, so that toasted profile jumps out right away. Toasted marshmallow, vanilla, get a deep dark cherry note in there. Yep, so cherries, dark fruits, stewed fruits. Nice prominent vanilla note as well. Cherries, vanilla, toasted marshmallow, bit of brown sugar. A little bit of spice on there too, so some cinnamon spice in the nose as well. Really nice nose on that one, that's super inviting. Gonna do a quick nosing round and then I'll go through for a tasting round on the palate. Really like that nose. It has a really nice fruity aspect to it. Strawberries, cherries, vanilla cream, toasted marshmallows, brown sugar. Nice little bit of toast note to the nose on this one. Super inviting, desserty nose on whatever glass this is. Let's call this glass A here. All right, let's go into the second glass here. This I can already tell just looking in the glass. It has a slight, I don't know if it'll show up on the camera there, but has a slightly lighter color than the predecessor, than glass A. So glass B does still have a kind of medium kind of copper to it. Not quite as dark as the last one, but still a nice color, nice and inviting. Let's check out the nose on this one. Cheers. Different than the other one. This one has a little bit more of a darker note to it. So it does have those fruit notes right away, but they're even deeper and richer, darker. There's a little bit of definitely the dark cherry in here. Oh, I love this nose too. Strawberries coming up, vanilla on the palate, on the nose rather, vanilla on the nose. I love the nose on this one. Starting to come through with some cherries, strawberry, vanilla, fruit notes. There's sweetness there, but it's not quite, you know, the deep, dark caramel that I'm getting on this. There's a sweetness there, but it's kind of more vanilla sugar. Really nice nose on this one as well. That's going to be hard to decide a nose between those two. At first I thought they were really different, but the more that I'm getting into the nose on this one, the more similar they seem to be. There's a syrupy aspect to this one, nice and sweet. Really nice kind of dense nose to this. All right, let's get into the next glass here. All right, so this glass is really, really different from all the rest. And this is kind of at one of those points where I wish for these blind tastings that I had some like blacked out Glencairns so that it wouldn't kind of give away from the color what the bourbon might be or the whiskey might be. But this, you can tell, looking in the camera, so much lighter than the other ones. This is a very light amber color. Not much color to this one at all, leading me to think it didn't have much time in the barrel. Not usually a good sign, but let's go in for a nose and see what we find. Cheers. Oh. Okay, this nose is not good at all. This is a very young nose, super grain forward, grass, hay note. There's a little bit of cherry going in the background, but it's fairly weak. This is, yeah, it's not there. The nose isn't there. It's not jumping out of the glass. You got to dig really deep to get any notes at all on this one. There's a cherry note here, but it's a really youthful cherry note, so unripe cherry or unripe strawberry. Some vanilla in the background. A little bit of there's a hint of nuttiness here, and then a hint of caramel, so almost like toffee. So far, this one would be in last place for the nose, for sure. Glass C, last place on the nose. All right, let's go in for the last one here. Nice, again, we're back to the deep, dark, rich color. This one's probably a very comparable color to Glass A. Nice, dark copper color, even deeper, almost like a light mahogany on this one. Really nice color. Give it a swirl in the glass and we'll go in for a nose. Cheers. This one does not have the depth or complexity of Glass A and Glass B in terms of the nose kind of jumping out more in the glass. This one you got to hunt a little bit further as well. And definitely does not have as pronounced a cherry or strawberry nose on it at all. It does have a little bit of a fruit note, but it's buried in the back there. You do get some brown sugar. There's a little bit of sweetness, hint of vanilla. It's getting sweeter as I kind of spend more time with it and nose it a little bit longer. Do get a slight cherry note coming through now. Man, you have to work at this one to get the nosy notes. It's you got to dig deep into the glass there to get anything. It's not jumping out like the glass A and B were. All right, so let's try to rank these for the nose really quick. It's between these two for first place. This glass here would be third place. So we'll see on these ones. I'll just do a quick A-B comparison. Very nice nose on this. Cherry, vanilla. There's a smoke note to it. A little bit of oak. Brown sugar. Some caramel. Let's try this one. Cheers. Let's do a little palate reset here. Okay. Ooh, I love the nose on this one. This is the standout. Whatever glass this is, this was Glass A. This is the standout here. Oh, I love that one. It's got the richness to it. There's a depth and complexity here. Deep brown sugars, dark cherry, vanilla, butterscotch and caramel. Little hint of baking spice in the back, a little bit of cinnamon. This is the winner, Glass A. So it goes Glass A, Glass B, Glass D, Glass C. All right, let's go in for the tasting round here. I'm going to go from my right to left, and we'll go through it and then give a ranking on them. Cheers. All right, so going with the one I like the nose on the best. A first. Cheers. Delicious. Wow. Love that. First thing you get is a rush of the cherry note. Deep, dark cherries. Then in kind of the mid palate, it transitions. There's actually up front, there's also a lot of vanilla sweetness. The mid palate gets a lot darker. There's some earthiness to this. Deep sort of baking spices, brown sugar, nutmeg, a hint of clove in the background, brown sugar, caramel. Nice complex dram here. Really loving the flavors on that one. A is a winner, whatever that is. I love it. I would buy it again in a heartbeat. I'm hoping it's not one of these two, the Elisha Craig Toasted Barrel or the Michter's. It probably is, but unfortunately those are two that I cannot get on a regular basis in my area here in Victoria, BC. This was a limited release, allocated, part of a spirit release, and so was this. I was lucky to get them both. Don't know that I can get them again, so hard to replace. All right, quick water palate cleanse here, and then I'll go in for glass B. All right, glass B. This was my second place for the nose. Cheers. This one is really nice as well, but it's lacking in depth and complexity that Glass A had. So right up front, you get all the flavors, and they're there right away. So you get cherry, vanilla cream. It's actually a pretty decent mouthfeel to this one, though, I will say that. Then it doesn't quite evolve very much. So it's kind of like vanilla sweetness, cherries, a little bit of brown sugar, and caramel mixed in there. There is actually what I will say about this one is the mid palate turns all to spice. So cinnamon spice, a little bit of white pepper. It's evolving a little bit here. So I'm liking this more now. I'm going to go for a second sip on this one just to give a good opinion. And it just came on the fresh palate cleanse. So go into this one really quick second sip. Better on the second sip. Cherry, strawberry, vanilla cream up front. There's an evolution in the mid palate as you swallow, and it kind of shifts to the baking spices. So cinnamon, clove. There's a spiciness here, almost like a cinnamon red hot. Actually, mid palate. It evolves to becoming quite spicy on the palate. It's not quite as deep or complex as Glass A, but so far that one's in second place. Glass B. Second place on that one. It does have a nice long spicy finish. So if you're someone who likes the spice note, like cinnamon red hots, a little bit of white pepper, maybe some cayenne pepper, black pepper in there, quite a spicy and long lasting finish. It's medium to long finish on that one. It's still going right now, so that's actually a really nice long finish on that one. But A had it for the flavors and the palate for me. Let's go in for Glass C. All right, so Glass C was the one where I liked the nose the least. It had a really youthful, grain-forward, kind of that grass, hay, very young, kind of unripe strawberry or cherry note to it. Didn't like the nose very much on this at all. Let's see if the palate's any better. Cheers. Nope. No good. So I already know what that is. Has that Jim Beam peanut funk that I really dislike. If you've seen some other reviews like the Jim Beam Old Tub, it has that really funky peanut note. If you like that, you're probably going to like it, but it's probably, it has to be the Basil Hayden toast. It has a really youthful, unripe kind of cherry note at the front. Vanilla, a little bit of sweet. There's a sweetness to it, so it's like sweet peanut. I don't really know what's up with that note, but it's just something that's super off-putting to me, so that one's a no-go for me. That one is in last place for sure. All right, quick palate cleanse, then I'll go on to the last one here. All right, this was third place for my nosing round. Let's see how it fares on the palate. Cheers. Wow. That's actually really nice on the palate. This has a real maple syrup sweetness to it. Really, really sweet. Maple syrup, toasted marshmallow, vanilla, brown sugar, caramel, butterscotch. There is a nice dessert quality to this one. That's really, really good. However, it doesn't, so there is a little bit of a finish, so got a little bit of spicing, a little bit of cinnamon going on there, but I would say it doesn't have the depth or complexity of glass A or glass B. So I'm going to put that one in third place. C is in third place. Still really good, but different. It's more caramel sweetness, vanilla sweetness, maple sugar, maple syrup, really kind of a dessert whiskey, that one. It doesn't have nearly as much of the cherry or the deep dark fruit notes that I really like in a bourbon, so that one is going to go in third place. All right, so let's rank these here. So let's go from least favorite to favorite. So in last place here at the end, glass C. Let's see which one that one. We'll do the reveal. So that is the red dot. And the red dot, it's got to be Basil Hayden's. It is. It's Basil Hayden's. So Basil Hayden Toast was my least favorite. I think the proof level on that Jim Beam peanut funk that I don't like, kind of Play-Doh type note, that came forth. Didn't like this one. This one's in last place, so I'll switch this. Don't know where the Michter's is going to end up yet, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be in the top two. So let's put Basil Hayden at the back there. All right, let's go on to my third favorite whiskey. And this one is the yellow dot on the glass here. So the yellow dot is Woodford Double Oaked. So this one was really good, but it is different. It's not has the kind of the fruit note, the deep dark cherry note that glass A and glass B did. It was more rich, sweet caramel, vanilla, butterscotch, toasted marshmallow, maple syrup. That was the flavor profile for the Woodford Double Oaked. Still really delicious, but just didn't have the complexity of the other two. So let's go in for my second favorite. What was my second favorite? It was the green dot, and the green dot was Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel. Perfect. These two were very close, so that leaves Michter's, the blue dot, to be first place, the Michter's Toasted Barrel Bourbon. So in this blind flight fight, this Michter's Toasted Barrel Bourbon is crowned the winner. So that's the one that I enjoyed the most, had the most depth and complexity to it. Too bad that it's a limited release and very difficult to get in our market. I've only ever seen it once here at the Spirit Release, and when I saw it, I knew I had to have it. So I paid a bit of a premium. In our market, it was about $130 or so Canadian plus our 15% taxes. So, but you know what? It's a beautiful bottle of bourbon. I'm really happy to have had the chance to try it. So thanks so much for joining me for this blind tasting of what is the best toasted barrel finish. And be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, leave us a comment down below. Let us know what you thought about this blind format, and we'll see you in the next video. Until next time, may your sails be full and your drowns be fuller. Cheers.